This broadcast segment begins by immediately saying the Council on American Islamic Relations is condemning racist messages left outside of homes in Lino Lakes.
The Council on American Islamic Relations has something else it's dealing with now. They're talking and condemning a number of racist messages left outside of homes in Lino Lakes over the weekend. What you're looking at right now is a photo of what was written on what was left at homes. That hateful note was put inside plastic bags along with rice in Lino Lakes. Republican State Senator Roger Chamberlain, who serves that area, said in a statement that he's urging police to investigate and prosecute whoever is behind those notes to the fullest extent of the law. Those come just a week after a similar incident in Cottage Grove, when residents there found these racist flyers, also in plastic bags filled with rice. And the week before that, anti-Semitic flyers found outside homes in Highland Park of St. Paul. Those flyers touted conspiracy theories that Jewish people are responsible for gun control laws. Again, they were packed inside of Ziploc bags along with rice.
But this has nothing to do with the Council on American Islamic Relations, Muslims, or Islam. And this is one of the ways CAIR gets on TV as often as they do. In fact, CAIR will get on TV to condemn flyers like this in places like Houston.
It's a hateful message that's getting a powerful reaction in Northwest Harris County.
It's just so ugly to see that being handed out in the Houston area.
Sunday morning, some people woke up to this flyer on their homes and cars. We're blurring the images. They're just too offensive to show. Racist cartoons of African Americans with a title that reads, 2026, A Race Odyssey.
It sends a message of hate blatantly. And, there's just no tolerance for that in this city.
The Council on American Islamic Relations was contacted about the flyers, but they say residents were scared to come forward for fear of retaliation.
They described masked men in ski masks, going around from house to house last night and early this morning, putting these flyers on people's homes and cars.
Houston is investigating, and they hope to find those responsible for this flyer dump because they say messages like these will not be tolerated in our city.
I think that when you're invoking fear and hate towards anyone, it should be investigated, and at the very least, we want to make sure that everyone is safe.
I want anybody else to be shocked like I was. I mean, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad hate. I mean, I've never seen anything like it before.
It's vile. It's putrid.
CAIR Houston got involved when a different racist flyer was left on cars and at homes in 2 Copperfield area subdivisions.
Neighbors did get video door cam footage and security camera footage of 3 men wearing masks and baseball caps at 1 o'clock in the morning. So the material has things ranging from White Lives Matter to gross and vile depictions of African Americans, immigrants, Latinos, and Jewish people.
My husband told me, 250,000 soldiers died preventing stuff like this back in World War II. And now we're in 2020 and we're still dealing with this.
Are we dealing with it? Nazis have no pressure groups like CAIR. Nazis don't have media access and are forcing people out of a job every month.
Well, CAIR is asking anyone who might have any ring video to please share it with them. They hope to turn over this investigation to the FBI and to HPD.
Dallas?
The Irving Police Department says the FBI may join the investigation into a threatening piece of mail that was sent to a resident. The letter warning people who are Chinese American or Indian American to leave the country or be shot. Fox 4's Alex Boyer is live with details. Alex.
Hi, Clarice. And Irving police say at this point it does appear to be an isolated incident. The Irving chapter of Indian American Muslim Council joined other faith leaders in a virtual news conference hosted by CAIR DFW Tuesday, condemning the author's actions. Investigators issued a community alert on social media. If additional letters turn up, Irving police say only then might the FBI become involved in the investigation. And if caught, police say that the author of the letter could face a charge of harassment.
Massachusetts.
Racist flyers are being passed out in a West Hartford neighborhood.
West Hartford police say they received reports of flyers from the New England Nationalist Social Club were thrown around Whitman Avenue, Fern Ridge Park, Walton Drive, and Braeburn Road. The Connecticut chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations in a statement says they condemn these flyers, and it's a reminder that racism still exists.
California.
Bay Area mosques are stepping up security amid a threat of violence against Muslims in England.
Children's school, they decided to cancel their field trip just to make sure that the students were safe.
The Council on Islamic American Relations, Samina Usman, is talking about this, about hate-filled letters sent last month to homes and businesses across Britain threatening violence against Muslims on April 3rd. There was no mention of the United States.
Missouri.
Now there is a new flyer going around, April 3rd, Love a Muslim Day. There's a similar system, 10 points, for example, smile at a Muslim, 100 points, invite a Muslim to your home.
Even though it started in the UK, they're saying it's not a credible threat here. Is there any kind of warning to the community?
Yes, so the Center for American Islamic Relations is still asking Muslim American families to be aware of their surroundings, but again, yes, no credible threat. And
Kaya, thank you.
Kentucky.
The Kentucky chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations is condemning these racist flyers.
As we first reported last night, the flyers were found in at least 2 neighborhoods in Paducah. They were headlined White Lives Matter with obscenities regarding other groups.
In a statement, the council's chair said,
"We condemn this bigoted campaign to promote racism and hate in our state. Every American must stand with those who respect diversity and reject all forms of bigotry."
Nevada.
UNR is responding after white supremacist groups. Flyers were posted on campus.
And this afternoon, the Council on American Islamic Relations, the nation's largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization, condemned the white supremacist flyers spread on campus.
Michigan.
While a civil rights group is calling for a federal investigation of hateful flyers.
Yeah, these flyers were left at a couple of homes in Trenton, and the message supports the KKK and quotes Bible verses against interracial marriage.
Now, the flyers were left at the homes of 2 multiracial families. The Council on American Islamic Relations says the FBI should find out who's behind it.
We don't think there was anything random about it, and that's scary, especially if we're talking about families and their children.
When we have the president of the United States of America who actually has been cozy with white nationalists such as the indicted Steve Bannon right now, then what can we expect when during an election year we have increased white nationalists and white supremacist activities going on in our neighborhoods in southeastern Michigan?
Wisconsin.
Some yard signs in Wauwatosa have neighbors doing a double take, but it's letters showing up at some homes that have really gotten the attention of at least one national organization now.
The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, says those signs were misinterpreted as racist and led to letters being sent to those addresses.
Colorado.
We started 4 o'clock with flyers with a racial slur found in Longmont late last week. And the Boulder County District Attorney's Office says the culprit should be ashamed of themselves.
And while police know who did it, there's really not much they can do about it.
Believe me, I would share the community members' reaction to this flyer being absolutely outrageous, and it is, but it's not criminal in nature.
The Colorado chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations condemned the flyers today. In a statement, they said they stand in solidarity with all those targeted by racist intimidation.
Maryland.
The Council on American Islamic Relations, which is the nation's largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization, is condemning recent incidents reported in a Greensboro neighborhood. Several residents woke up to find anti-Semitic flyers outside their homes along with their newspaper.
Rhode Island.
An update tonight on hateful stickers placed around a Johnston neighborhood. Police removed them, but they showed up again on Wednesday. A viewer sent us photos of the new stickers, including the one on the right here indicating an interracial couple. Other stickers included a middle finger over Islam. Police say they are investigating and hope to find who's responsible for the acts. If you have any information, please call Johnston Police. Now, this afternoon, the Council on American Islamic Relations issued a statement condemning the racist anti-Muslim stickers. They said in part, quote, "It is important for law enforcement authorities to investigate and identify the individuals responsible for spreading these hate-filled messages."
And Idaho.
The Council on American Islamic Relations, the nation's largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization,
condemned a planned white nationalist music festival in Boise.
The event features bands that reference Nazi history.
It's scheduled for this weekend. The council says one of the bands featured on the event's poster, Beer Hall Putsch, references a failed 1923 Nazi coup attempt by Adolf Hitler.
The exact location of the event is unknown. The council recently condemned racist flyers and campaigns in Connecticut, Minnesota, and Alabama.
That's right, and here is a local paper that reported on the festival. They mention Beer Hall Putsch and which labels they record on. They say this festival has happened several times in the past and the police are aware of it. But the report never mentions CAIR because they are irrelevant. Taking a stand against Nazis is not exactly bold, especially when one has as much baggage as CAIR does. CAIR has tried to obscure their checkered past by pointing the finger at others, particularly white people. CAIR is absolutely obsessed with white people.
We want punishment for these crimes, not just some walk off and just be fired, you know. So it was all over. It wasn't just confined to any one place. The whole system was rotten. The whole system was corrupt. The whole system was devilish. Every one of them. And they're all guilty. And they all share in the guilt and the crime. It just let me know just the depth of subhuman depravity, you know, of these people, you know, who these so-called these white people. It just let me know. I mean, I knew they were savage. At one time I was in tears, and the other times I could have, if I even so much as saw someone of a Caucasian hue, I would go in and choke them.
It is a matter of race. It is the crisis of race. It is the fact that white people have certain privilege and entitlement that they can do anything and they can get away with.
None of the people CAIR has attacked on TV are white supremacists. They are ordinary people. Elementary school teachers.
The Council on American Islamic Relations, a civil rights advocacy group for Muslims, is calling for the teacher's removal.
So the teacher not only put her hands on her, removed her headscarf, and this is, of course, humiliating for any Muslim woman.
Police officers.
And it basically calls into question whether this chief deserves to be pensioned by the taxpayers of the city of Sheffield Lake.
City employees.
The Council on American Islamic Relations also called for swift action for the dehumanizing slur against all people of Arab ancestry. Shameful, bold-faced lie to reporter Jen Shine.
Breaking news, a Dearborn City employee caught in a lie about a racist Facebook post is off the job tonight.
The mentally ill.
Here, the Council on American Islamic Relations says police need to upgrade those charges.
He should be charged with doing what he did, and that was kidnapping, that was false imprisonment, and arguably that was attempted murder. So the authorities can later sort out what his mental state was, but he needs to be charged based on what he actually did.
Even if this guy uttered the word Allahu Akbar or God is great, well,
right before the shooting.
Yeah, so what?
What does that tell you?
It tells me that this is an isolated incident by a disturbed individual. Even if he was Christian and he said Jesus is Lord.
And he began firing?
When CAIR gets on TV to condemn flyers like those in Lino Lakes, they are not defending the equality of all people before the law. Instead, they are displaying their well-documented racism against white people. Are these condemnations accomplishing anything, or are they just bringing attention to the Council on American Islamic Relations?
The Council on American Islamic Relations, they're talking and condemning